know, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
IKEA, and Cheryl's here. We just had out some Houston locations, and the food was amazing, wasn't it?
It was delicious.
It was really good. We're sitting outside on this kind of very urban street that doesn't interrupt our voices.
Yeah.
But it's nice out here.
We'll talk loud.
It's about, you know, 80 degrees, but there's a nice breeze. So, oh look, people showed up. See the number right there?
Barely.
That's how many people.
Hello.
So, yesterday I said I was going to talk about the results of going to Kroger and have them put, I say in 78, I'll put groceries in my back seat without having to shop indoors. But I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because I would rather talk to Cheryl about what Cheryl has to talk about. If you remember last time I was with Cheryl, she was starting this personal journey. That's what I like to call it.
Yes.
She's on a personal journey with, oh look, there's April. Hi April.
Hey,
hola. She's going to go on this personal journey with minimalism. And we both had seen a documentary called The Minimalist.
Yeah.
I saw it last year and panicked and turned it off and never thought about it again. But apparently Cheryl's going to take it to heart, and I'm going to live vicariously through her eyes. If you want to follow along on Cheryl's journey, I put a link to her YouTube channel in the video description today, and also a link to her website.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you can follow along there. Be sure to subscribe to her channel and ring the notification bell so you know when she puts up a video. I think she's showing up once a week, hopefully on Mondays.
Yep, that's
That's the idea.
For now, that's the goal.
And she'll be talking about her journey with minimalism. But my question is what does minimalism mean to you? I mean, we've all read that Japanese book about, you know, hug your socks, then throw them away because they brought you enough joy. But, I mean, what does all this mean to you?
For me, minimalism is, oh, there's some of that urban noise we talked about.
Sorry.
Kristen, for me, minimalism is getting rid of the extraneous, not having so much stuff around that I'm not using, I don't have room for in my home, my life, and maybe most importantly to me, in my brain. My brain constantly swirls. I don't know if anybody else suffers from that, but I have so much up here that I need calm everywhere else. So that's really it. Trying to decide what's really important that I need in my fiber art life, primarily right now, is where I'm focusing, and what I don't need so much anymore, and finding good homes, and sometimes that means the trash can, for all the bits and bobs that are just cluttering my world.
Interesting. So in your latest video, you talked about the concept of containers.
Yes.
What is that about?
Driving home from Dallas recently, I downloaded an Audible book, Decluttering at the Speed of Life. Can't remember the author's name, but that's enough.
She mentions it in her latest video.
Yes, I do mention the whole thing.
If you go watch her video, Cheryl tells you the author of this book.
Yes, it's absolutely worth it. And if you're an audiobook person, she does a great job of reading her own material. But her philosophy is, and I am embracing it, is everything in your home, including your. And once that container is full, you either stop accumulating or you get rid of stuff. You don't buy new containers. That's what we do wrong. We just buy more containers to reorganize.
I have a storage unit.
And
I rented a container.
Have you ever wondered about the proliferation of the storage unit in this country?
They're everywhere.
Are everywhere. Am no longer, when my bookshelf is full, I don't buy more books. I deal with what's on my bookshelf. And so right now my container in my home is jam-packed. is that it is the title. You declutter at the speed of life. If you have 5 minutes, go do something and then go on with your day. She's a busy mother of young children. You know, 5 minutes may be all she gets some days, but it's constant forward progress. I'm the kind I do once and have it over. That's not realistic, and I always...
That's how I am too, though. I want to see progress. I want to see visible progress.
Right.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
I'm not motivated to keep going.
Yes.
High impact is what I call it.
That's perfect, and I think many of us are like that. So imagine accumulating all your little 5 minutes into one, how much you can get done. So I'm working on, that's part of my personal journey too, is understanding that I can reclaim small areas of time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do it at the speed that's, because not everybody can dedicate an hour
Exactly.
every day. I mean, maybe you only have 10 minutes on Saturday or whatever.
Exactly.
But that's more than you did.
Right. And she also schedules in, I haven't done this because scheduling is kind of an issue with
She
me.
needs an attack plan.
I do need an attack, and I know where I can get one. But she schedules drops to her local thrift stores and donation locations, and
Where she drops stuff.
Where she takes-
Not where she buys
not
stuff.
she brings it where she drops, and has bags in the car all the time, and once a week she's doing this. I thought that was genius.
Well, that's the one thing I emphasized in all my spring cleaning videos, is if you have stuff to donate, get it out of your house immediately.
Yes.
Because otherwise it becomes a new problem.
Yes,
You're
it
storing
does.
stuff that you should have gotten rid of in another storage area.
Precisely.
Another container.
And don't make my mistake of putting it in your car
Right.
and then driving around with it in the car for 6 months. That's
Put it on the front seat.
there you then my dog can't ride, so I'm going to make changes so that my dog
Exactly.
can ride in the car again.
You know, when I first moved into this house, of course, the whole unpacking is such a chore to unpack.
Right.
And the room I wanted to live in the most is where I put all the stuff. Because I thought if I
Ooh, that's a good
want
idea.
to live in that room, because it's a bigger room with a higher ceiling and a fireplace,
Yes.
I'm going to have to deal with all this stuff. If I had started tucking it away out of, I'd still be unpacking.
That's genius, because what I did is I put everything in the room that's going to be my studio.
Right.
So I can't get into that room. So what do? I work in the other rooms of the house, and then my clutter just kind of follows me
Your
wherever
container
I go.
becomes bigger.
Yes.
So where are you going to start? What's your goal? What's your idea? What's your plan?
My plan is, the first thing I've done is I went to Walmart and I bought, and this is in that other
And you
video
bought
too.
more containers, didn't
I
you?
bought more containers, but this time they're sorting containers. So for 98 cents each, I got these small laundry baskets, and I put my yarn according to color. Now I had already pre-sorted, gotten rid of the things that I would never use. I've made a commitment to use 100% natural fiber in my artwork and my fiber stuff. So anything that didn't fit in that, and I really want to make my yarn for the most part. So I'm keeping very little yarn.
Yeah.
So my first step was to prioritize all of that and then gather the rest so I can donate it. And in one day of doing that, I have space in my room that I can walk around in now.
So you stopped, you got containers, and you immediately could see what you wanted to keep for sure,
Correct.
and what you wanted to get rid of for sure because it no longer served you.
Correct.
So by eliminating what doesn't serve you anymore, you immediately made space.
That is
So you
it.
gave yourself some breathing room.
That is
That's
exactly.
great.
That
No,
is exactly.
that's a great. And if you do that, let's say if you just did that every day for 5 minutes, more and more space every day.
Every day.
Yeah,
Every
it's
day.
amazing how that works.
It is.
It's amazing also, you know, this whole concept of inertia. If you remember your physics or whatever, it says that a body in motion stays in motion, but a body that's not in motion stays out of motion. You have,
Really good mental
because
picture.
once you go, it keeps going, but if you stop completely, you stop.
Stop.
I mean, and then all of a
That's-
sudden 2 weeks have gone past and nothing's accomplished. But if you're doing
Yeah.
something, 2 weeks have passed and you go, oh my gosh, I got a whole room back.
And Drew brought that up because after I made that last video, which about 2 weeks ago, I started preparing for an art show that I'm doing this weekend. I lost that inertia, and so nothing has changed. That's why there hasn't been another video. But I've made the commitment now. That art show is Saturday, and I'm done preparing for it, so I can go back and reassess, set up my new attack plan for where I am today and what steps I'm going to take each day to reach the goal.
So do you want to, you're going to work on this minimalist concept every day, you think? It's going to be a daily thing for you?
Small things daily is my goal. Whether I attack like I did the yarn, now the yarn is still sitting in those baskets, but I have books I've got to deal with. Decided to paint that room. So I've added to my list of things to do before I can really get with this. The concept of picking after yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the author of the book calls it something really hysterical, but basically it's lazy clutter.
Lazy clutter. Dirty clothes.
Dirty clothes.
Dishes.
For me, it's okay. I'm working on and I have a little bit of yarn, maybe some fiber crochet hooking, and I want someone else to do something else. I never go back and put those away.
Right.
So it's like your mom always taught you.
Put it away when you can.
Everything has a place and everything in its place.
And don't sit so close to the TV.
Yes, because you'll go blind. No, and my mom harped on me about that, and maybe that's why my most fast. Truly, taking the time to put something up, is done with it, is really huge. And if I can and discipline myself to do that, I think it would be that's a huge step in this whole process.
It really
of
is.
Keeping things one can organize. I just don't keep it that way.
Well, you know, I read that Japanese book where you know, everybody did, I think.
I think so.
You know, hug your socks and let them go because you've loved them long enough.
Right.
And I actually kind of adopted the mentality of, do I still love them?
Right.
But thing I did learn from that book that I think was very valuable about organizing is she suggests not organizing in the traditional way, which is putting stuff where you would need them. What she said is put everything back in one place. So instead of keeping the stuff that you would clean the kitchen in the kitchen and the stuff you clean the bathroom in the bathroom, keep all the cleaning supplies in one place. And she said she claims that psychologically, you're more likely to return everything to their place if it's all in the same place. And that reduces that lazy clutter thing, because it's like, oh, well, I keep this crochet hook by this one table because I'm always crocheting. I'll keep all your crochet hooks in your craft room at that one desk, and you're likely to all put them back there and they don't get spread out all over the house.
Do you think that might also help me with the problem of rebuying the same size crochet hook 5 times?
Because we all have team size H's.
Yes.
All right, well, Cheryl, this has been a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you.
We'll do it again next month sometime, and I'm looking forward to following progress. If you don't, please click in the show description. Subscribe to Cheryl's YouTube channel. It's thewoolenhook.com is the name of her website. That's in the description too. Like and share this video, please. Don't you want more of us? We can do it if you don't like and share the video. Also subscribe and ring the little notification bell. That's the only way you know that I have gone live. Remember, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. Automate and delegate whenever possible. And say it with me, folks, no matter what life throws at me, I have the power to make today a fantastic day. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Drew.
See you guys tomorrow.
Guys.
Bye. Love you.